guns now. Willie, you know how I hate guns. Willie, stop that. Willie, Willie, Willie.
You said there'd be no shooting.
And the guard dead. I want him to tell us everything we've got to know.
That's why he's dead. But which one was the inside man, Barnes or the guard?
Are you absolutely certain that the door only opens on this side?
No other way. Whoever opened it got a bullet for his payoff.
You buy that woman and the little boy bit?
Not for a minute.
Well, we found your woman. And your little boy. 15 blocks away in an ash can.
It figured.
The inside man dead, and the caper ends up in an ash can.
That's where the killers are going to wind up. In the big ash can. We've got an inside man of our own going for us now. This thing had all the signs of a strikeout from the top. That's why I ordered an undercover officer. He's on the case now.
Bits and pieces, that's what I had to work with. But that's what the tightrope is made of, bits and pieces. The police were convinced of two things. The little boy had been a midget, the mother a man, and it had been an inside job. But of the two dead men, which one was guilty, and why? Both had flawless records for honesty and integrity. The guard, a bachelor, with simple tastes, simple habits. Barnes, the payroll manager, a widower with a son. I first started checking out Barnes. Too bad about Henry Barnes.
Yeah, that's the way we all feel.
I was out of town. I just heard about it. You figure he, outsmarted himself? Yeah, that's the way he got it head on. I always thought he was too smart a guy to get snookered into a squeeze.
Mister, are you sure we're talking about the same guy?
Yeah, sure. Henry Barnes, the payroll manager. Word's going around he made a deal for himself. And it blew up in his face.
Look, you got about 30 years and 30 pounds on me, Sonny, and you're gonna need every one of them.
Now, take it easy, Pop.
You come in here and talk about a straight guy like Henry. I don't know you, mister, and I don't want it.
Look, it's all second-hand conversation, just like what I heard.
Put down that cue and get out of here before I wrap this around your skull.
Real tough, huh?
Henry Barnes didn't belong on the same street as a punk like you. He was as straight as a chalk line.
What do I owe you?
I don't want your money. Just blow out of here and don't come back.
We know it was no kid. It had to be a midget. It's our only lead. If it was a midget, it had to be the mascot. It's got to be someplace in the city.
I've had all the wires out. Not a thing, not a trace of them.
He's got to be the one. It all fits. Mascot got out on parole a month ago and dropped out of sight. Now this payroll heist and 2 killings. If we find the mascot, we find half of the team that pulled it.
The payroll manager, Barnes. What about his son, Jimmy?
Never held a job more than 6 months. Here's a rundown on him. Works as a pinboy in a bowling alley, cab driver, grease monkey, salesman. Only time he was arrested was for a floating crap game, fined $50.
That takes us right back to the mascot. All right. I'll shake down every joint in this city. If the mascot's here, we'll flush him out.
Captain Steele. Yeah, when? Hold it, we got something. You're sure that it was young Barnes? No, don't tail him. We're handling this another way. We've got a new lead. Barnes' son just bought a gun from a hockshot.
We'll pick him up right away.
No. He wants that gun for one of two reasons. Commit a crime or vengeance. If it's vengeance, it's for his father's killing.
So you think young Barnes will lead us to the mascot?
Or Mr. X, the man who posed as a woman on that payroll heist.
Well, how do we move?
We don't. The tightroper does.
The police were trying to find a midget named the Mascot, and I was following the nebulous trail of a young man, Jimmy Barnes, the son of the payroll manager who had been murdered. Now that he had bought a gun, Jimmy Barnes could only lead me to violence, and the trail led to a club owned by Joe Achilles. There was nothing to tie Achilles into the robbery and murder. Nothing but Jimmy Barnes.
How can you miss the board completely? Gimme. How do you manage to hit anybody? You got no coordination. I bet you can't hit that with your fist. All your brains are in your knuckles.
That's what I get paid for, boss. I don't think so good up past the wrist.
Jimmy Barnes' direction was a one-way street to Achilles, and he carried two things, anger and a gun. The girl he was with got no place with the anger, and I had to find out why he wanted the gun. If it was for vengeance, there was a connection between Achilles and the murder of Jimmy's father. What was the connection, and why? Only Jimmy could tell me that, or maybe Achilles. I had to play both sides of the fence and walk down the middle.
Hey, now look, I'm gonna sit here till I see Achilles or the mascot. And if I sit here, I'm gonna drink.
You had it.
Come on, give my friend a drink on me.
Butt out, will you? I can buy my own.
Just trying to be sociable.
Well, I'm not in the mood.
Maybe I can help. Hey, bartender. I'll take 2 straight ones.
2?
2, now.
Yes, sir.
You keep track. I'll pour. Name is Bill Johnson.
Jimmy Barnes.
I just slid into town. I was tipped off that this place really swings. When does it start?
It swings all right, if you're in the mood. But I got some unfinished business, so everything has to wait.
Jimmy was carrying more than just grief. He had a gun under his coat. He must have been new at this gun stuff. Takes a long while before you get used to that extra arm.
Oh,
Go.
thank you. What do you do, Bill?
I stay away from cops, mostly.
Hmm?
Yeah, then I can do what I do better.
Well, you picked the right place for that kind of a connection. I found that out.
Still out there?
Sure. Only now he's got a lot of conversation going.
Who with?
Can't place the face. Some guy just started drinking with him.
Maybe I shouldn't have waited. Okay, Sharpie, you and Vicky go out there and break it up. I don't want him talking to anybody.
Okay, boss.
Well, maybe Achilles got a little more shook up. You told him I had a new thought going for me. Like the police.
Good night, Jimmy. You're leaving early.
You fellas have any preference as to who I'd belt first?
Relax, Buster.
Oh, I see. You're the referee, huh? You didn't wait for instructions.
Careful, he's murdered with his fists.
You gotta hit me first. Good. What round is it?
Last, if you're smart, you'll stay down.
He hasn't laid a glove on me.
Not wearing gloves.
Maybe that's why. He doesn't like it downstairs. Elevator going up.
I can fade that.
Not necessary, Jimmy. Unless that arm comes out empty, I'll break it and you can wear it that way. Let's go, Jimmy. The conversation was just getting good.
Hey, you. Achilles wants to see you. Not you. You.
If anybody's gonna see Achilles, it's me.
Forget it, Jimmy. I'll handle it alone. Take off. I'll be in touch. Okay, so you guessed it, Achilles. I need a job. I'm broke.
I don't like guys busting up my place.
Quickest way I could get in to see you. I'm here.
What do you do for a buck?
You name it, I've done it.
That's an answer. It's a nice suit you got. Doesn't let the muscles show.
Now, your boy got a little careless.
Yeah. Yeah, when he chose you. Big'll be around for a second shot, though, and he's always better the second time around.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not looking for a return match.
Oh, it won't happen when you're looking.
You might even get a little help, huh?
Figure, wouldn't it? You care for a drink?
What do they cost in here?
Drinks in here are free.
Oh, not really. You gotta get something for them. What do you want from me?
How much the kid talk?
Jimmy Barnes?
Yeah, Jimmy Barnes.
Hell.
Live to enjoy it. Now, Jimmy was saying,
Oh, a few bits here and there. It doesn't add up right away.
when do you plan on finishing the audition?
Must I?
Not if you're smart.
That bad, huh?
The difference between living and dying.
Well, I've managed to do it so far.
You could go the rest of the way in a hearse. Finish your arithmetic?
Not quite. Let's assume that things equal to the same things are equal to each other.
I had a feeling you'd keep adding.
If one of your hands drops out of sight, I'm gonna have to shoot you through the head.
I don't believe you even have a gun.
So why did you stop moving? As I was saying, things equal to the same things are equal to each other.
Like you and Jimmy.
That's right, only more so. I've only got a few of the numbers. Jimmy's got the whole total. So how come he's alive?
Who says he is?
Don't, Jimmy.
I, been looking for you, mascot.
Now you don't have to look anymore.
Somewhere in the city, Jimmy Barnes had been set up to be killed, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. One thing I was sure of now, Jimmy's father had been the inside man in the holdup, and had died for it. All I had to do was prove it.
Don't worry. The call will come through any minute. It'll be all over. That'll be off of my mind. Drink up.
It's all over? All over, Achilles. I killed the mascot.
You wouldn't let me put the light on.
Guess he couldn't shoot so good in the dark. You're next, Achilles.
I'm gonna get you next.
You got a job starting right now. Jimmy Barnes. Knock him off.
In the city, Jimmy Barnes was hiding. His only companions were a feeling of guilt for his father's death and a gun. Killing the mascot had been self-defense. But now Jimmy was bent on murder. I had to stop him before he got to Achilles.
You sure find yourself an easy way to go?
You plan on making it harder?
No, just wondering why you were setting up house here at the bar.
I've got an expense account.
Well, I think maybe that's what Achilles wants to see you about. Like now. What do you think that Jimmy's going to come in here, gun in hand, and start blasting?
How else is he going to get to Achilles? He hasn't left the club in 4 days.
Maybe that's what he wants you to do, so we can get out of here.
Days I've been waiting for something to happen. I'm paying you to make it happen.
You're the target. It's got to happen where you are.
I got all the protection I need.
Then take it with you. Wherever you move, that's where Jimmy's going to move. Or do you plan on spending a lifetime in here?
$5 grand I'm paying you to get me out of here safely with Jimmy dead.
Maybe you can talk a deal with him.
What? Biggie, get these things out of
I
here.
don't think this guy wants to kill Jimmy.
A job's a job.
They was real buddies. How do you know they still ain't?
I've taken care of that possibility. Go on, beat it, Biggie.
You ever change your mind about this Joker, boss? I'd like to try him again.
There's always that possibility, too. Maybe you just don't understand what this is all about. Why there's no chance of making a deal with Jimmy.
I've never seen an offer yet that wasn't listened to.
Now, you listen to me. Jimmy's got a good reason to kill me that can't be bought off with money or anything else.
because of his father?
Oh, so you finally got the numbers together, huh?
Well, it couldn't be just because of the mascot. I've seen moves like that bought off and forgotten. So it figures. You got to Jimmy's father through Jimmy and pressured him to work as an inside man.
Interesting. How would I apply that pressure?
Get Jimmy involved in some kind of a caper. Maybe a gas station. Hang on to some loose evidence that you could turn over to the police. Most fathers would buy that. Some fathers would do something about it. Jimmy's father turned crook in a department store and got killed for his trouble.
Not one thing you're saying can be proven.
Not one thing.
Now you see why Jimmy's got to be killed. Why there's no chance of making a deal.
I'm convinced.
Then go convince Jimmy the only way possible. With a bullet in his head.
Got time for drink?
I'm afraid not.
Got time for message?
Jimmy?
Somebody's got word to him that you're working for Achilles.
Like you, huh?
Not me. I've given up on Jimmy. He won't live long enough to keep the next state. He calls me, though. That's how I got the message for you.
What is it?
He's going to kill you, too.
The bits and pieces were falling into place. Achilles had involved Jimmy Barnes in a minor crime. Then he had forced Jimmy's father to take part in a holdup to save his son from a jail sentence. But the reward for Jimmy's father was death. And now his son was consumed with hate. Hate for Achilles and hate for me. I combed the city looking for Jimmy. I had to find him before he bought himself a one-way ticket to the chair. I want to see Jimmy.
Why not? That's what you were paid for.
Maybe Jimmy and I can talk a deal.
Nobody's talking to Jimmy. He's on his way to a killing. Two of them. You, and then Achilles.
Do you love the guy? Well, if the right woman loved Jimmy, she might even tell the police where he is.
Sure. Then there'd be 3 killings, me included.
Jimmy killed a mascot in self-defense, but if he kills me or Achilles, he'll go to the gas chamber. There might be a minor charge against Jimmy with the police. What's a year out of his life when he's in love?
I don't get you. You sound like you're on Jimmy's side.
I'd like to talk to Jimmy.
Well, I don't know where he is.
All right, then we'll just sit and wait. Any way it goes, Jimmy winds up dead.
Can't you talk to him without seeing him? I mean, on the phone? You're supposed to call my apartment. About an hour.
There's something beautiful about tears in a woman's eyes when she's crying for the man she loves. But it's bad for the makeup.
Have a seat. Woman doesn't only cry for a man she loves. She also lies for him. It's all yours, Jimmy.
Freeze it. That's your last move, pal.
I should have known. A woman in love never thinks straight. An accomplice to murder can be sent to the gas chamber, too.
She's out of this. Now go on, Margot. Get lost. All right, you sit.
No, Jimmy, please don't. I did everything you wanted me to. It's not too late for us. We could go away now.
It is too late.
No. No, Jimmy, no. Listen to me. We still have a chance. Why, Jimmy, if we go away now, we can forget everything. After you kill him, then it will be too late.
Margot, that's what I'm going to do. That's why I want
Jimmy,
you...
please!
Will you get out? You sure threw me a curve when you teamed up with Achilles.
Do I have access to that cigarette?
Slowly. You know, I thought you were my friend. I did. But I make a lot of mistakes like that. Some friends turn out to be your enemies. Easy. When you're finished with it, just drop it. Don't make any moves. People can do anything for money, can't they? They'll do anything for money. They can be hired, bought, pushed, anything for a buck.
I let him talk, getting the venom out. I wanted the tension to ease up before I made a move. I still didn't know what it would be. He had missed the gun in the small of my back in his search. But that move was no good. My job was to see that Jimmy lived. I wondered about telling him I was an undercover policeman. But in Jimmy's state of mind, that might mean killing me instantly, if he figured me as a barrier between him and Achilles. Grabbing for his gun might be my final fall from the tightrope. My life hung on Jimmy's whims. Margot had gotten me into this trap. Maybe she could get me out. Killing me still implicates Margot.
Wrong. I don't intend to kill you here.
Oh?
I'm going to use you to get to Achilles.
You really think that'll work?
Hold it. You keep making moves like that, you're not going to live to find out whether it's going to work. Listen, they're going to kill you anyway. Now, what difference does it make to you where it is? Do you think that Achilles is going to let you live after you kill me, huh?
I hadn't thought of it.
Well, then think about it. That's the Achilles pattern. He gets people into jobs, then he picks them off one by one. And only when everybody's out of the way is Achilles completely safe. That's why my father was killed. That's why the mascot tried to kill me. Then they would have got to him, only I pulled a switch there. Then they hired you to kill me. And when you'd come for your payoff, they'd kill you.
Oh, is that what I'm going to do? Go to Achilles' office for the payoff?
Mm-hmm. Late, when nobody's around. After you make a phone call, and you tell Achilles that I'm dead. Then he won't have any guards around, nobody. Just you and me and Achilles. And that's when I'm going to kill you, both of you.
This time, the tightrope was played out to the last strand. Jimmy's gun at my back was a tense, blunt finger ready to tap me for death in an instant. And if Jimmy was right, Achilles was waiting in his office with a gun full of bullets that had my name on them, too.
Good going. Come in.
Hold it! You're the luckiest guy that ever lived, Jimmy. I'm a police officer. You're under arrest. There are a lot of boys in the world like Jimmy Barnes. They make that one slip, and then they head toward the deep end. It's a good feeling when you can stop them from taking that big plunge. I had an idea that Jimmy would make it, the right way. He would have to pay for the crime in which Achilles had involved him. But the payment would be small, because justice can be lenient. And Jimmy would have something waiting for him, a woman in love. It's a lot to look forward to, for Jimmy, or any man.